So is James teaching that you can lose your salvation? Well, for one, and I'm not trying to say that James is not for the church, but James clearly says that this letter is to the 12 tribes in the dispersion, right? To the 12 tribes in the dispersion. So he's talking to Hebrews, his Jewish brothers, and he says that they're misjudging the poor. For if a man wearing a gold ring and fine clothing comes into your assembly, and a poor man in shabby clothing also comes in, and if you pay attention to the one who wears the fine clothing and say, you sit here in a good place, while you say to the poor man, you stand over there, or sit down at my feet, have you not then made distinctions among yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? Listen, my beloved brothers, has not God chosen the poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he has promised to those who love him? But you have dishonored the poor man. Are not the rich the ones who oppress you and the ones who drag you into court? Are they not the ones who blaspheme the honorable name by which you were called? So they're misjudging the poor. They're not loving people the way they should. If you really fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, you're doing well. But if you show partiality, you are committing sin and are convicted by the law as transgressors. For whoever keeps the whole law but fails in one point has become guilty of all of it. For he who said, do not commit adultery, also said, do not murder. If you do not commit adultery but do murder, you have become transgressors of the law. So what he's saying is, listen, you're violating the law by not loving your neighbor. So you're sinning. And the reason that a lot of the times, the reason that they mistreated the poor was because they thought that the poor had done something wrong and God wasn't blessing them. And he's saying, listen, you guys are doing something wrong. You guys are sinning. So you should probably speak and so act as those who are to be judged under the law of liberty. You might want to stop misjudging people and start to judge people rightly. Stop abusing the poor. For judgment is without mercy on one who has shown no mercy. So you see somebody in a bad situation and you start to say, oh, they must be a drug addict. There's something wrong with them and that's why they're in this place. You think that you're in the place you're in because you've made all the right choices? Or is it because of the grace and mercy of God? If you were to be judged by the law, what blessings would you have? Nothing, right? Because judgment is without mercy to one who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Does that change verse 14 for you, the context? Because what James is saying is, listen, if you have the type of faith that produces persecuting the poor, can that faith save you? The type of faith that produces this evil thing that you're doing? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. If you say you're a Christian and somebody shows up to your door naked and hungry, and you say, hey, man, be warmed and filled, and then slam the door in their face, and you don't give them anything, what kind of faith do you have? That's the Spirit of God in you? So James is not saying you can lose your salvation. James is saying if you have true salvation, if you have faith, then that should produce fruit in you. It's not you doing it. It's the Lord. He's looking for fruits of the Spirit. And people are using this to say you can lose your salvation? What?